We thank all of you for joining us via Facebook, YouTube, and wherever you are. We thank you for joining us on this hot, hot summer day, this June 28th of 2021. We are inside. For those of you that need masks, keep them on. I don't. I'm fully vaccinated, fully vaccinated, and feeling good about it. So we are here enjoying ourselves at Acts on Stage, owned and operated by myself and Michelle Lang Raymond. And so it is our honor again to be a part of this 5th annual Father's Day event. And what we want to do now is welcome. I want to bring up Andre Franklin, and he's going to join me as we talk about what we do here and why we do what we do with Build. So without any further ado, my brother, Mr. Andre Franklin.
How's it going, everyone? Thanks for joining us. So I'm gonna give a little background about who we are, why we're here, what we're doing. My name is Andre Franklin. I'm one of the founding members of Brothers United Leadership Development, Build 206. And so, really what we are is a group of brothers, from around the greater Seattle area, trying to address issues that impact young black men and boys. So, how we got here, this is our 5th annual Father's Day event. And what we wanted to do is we wanted to uplift men from the community that has been doing every things to serve the community. It's not about necessarily being a father. It's about being a father figure, a mentor, because as most folks know, there's a lot of folks that don't have fathers in their lives. And sometimes those coaches, mentors, teachers fill in those roles. So really uplifting folks that are doing amazing things in the community, but also people have impacted us personally. So I'm really excited about the brothers that we're going to be uplifting on this 5th annual Father's Day event. Some of them impacted me personally, but they've impacted the members who decided to honor them. And so it's going to be an amazing event here. So once again, Isaiah already shot this out, but make sure you join us live on Facebook, our website, YouTube. Share the stream. Make sure you guys comment. We can see the comments that you guys say on Facebook and YouTube. So feel free to give your shots out. So Brothers United Leadership Development, our mission is Brothers United in Leadership Development, affecting real change in our community. Our vision is Black men will be self-empowered to be leaders and mentors in their community and affect positive change, install pride, hope, and perseverance in Black men. Our goals are to increase civic engagement, increase leadership opportunities, navigate systems, provide support and mentoring, develop a prideful self, develop self-efficacy and a sense of power, develop accountable community partnerships, and leverage resources and secure sources of funds to further our work. So I'm going to take a little bit of time to also shout out some people who helped make this event happen. So as Isaiah brought up, Acts on Stage is hosting us. They're a Black Performing Arts theater company based here in White Center. So we were able to use this facility to make things happen. I definitely want to shout out the brothers of Build, the founding members. Build, Resilient, Inspire Communities of Color, BRIC, which is our nonprofit umbrella. Dancing in the Rain Media, who's behind the scenes, DQG, which we'll see him a little later. He'll be honoring an amazing man that was impactful in his life. He's the one behind the scenes making all this stuff happen. Proof in the Play, the Black Elephant Party, Govern Power Mentoring, United Better Thinking, Mr. Nice Guy, Bembry Consulting Services, our volunteers, our community, and the men that we are uplifting. So we're going to drop a link in the description here in a bit where you can fill out a survey. We really value the input of community. So if you want to take some time to please fill out the survey, tell us some things that you want to see, give us your feedback, and then we will be sure you enter into a drawing to win a free I Love Build shirt. You'll see some of the men that were honored today. They'll have their I Love Build shirts on. So you'll be entering to win a free one of those and a $25 gift card. So in a second, we'll drop that in the comment section. Let's see. So we're going to get into the award section of the ceremony. And so I'm going to frame it up. This is what we're going to do. It's going to be 3 minutes. Each build member will honor their honoree. They'll have 3 minutes to talk about why they're honoring them, what they meant to them, what they done for them, what they're doing in the community. And then the honoree will have 3 minutes to kind of talk about what they've done in the community or what they are doing and why they're doing what they're doing and like kind of who inspired them to do what they're doing. So, we're not going to hold people that's, they don't have to take the whole 3 minutes. We just want to put a little time frame on some folks be long winded. So it's the 5 B's. Be brief, brother, be brief. We're going to run with that. So we're going to jump into it. So the first honoree is my honoree. His name is Steve Williams. So can you bring Steve onto the screen? What's going on, brother?
How you doing, my brother?
Man, I am good, man. Blessed. Happy to be here. It's good to see you.
See you. Good haircut.
Yeah, I did get chopped up from the last time you saw me. So the other thing I want to mention is, we're doing this hybrid event. We're still in COVID. We haven't turned the corner yet. So we're trying to make sure that we're doing events where folks can be safe, community could join safe. The fathers that we're honoring could join safe. So that's why we're doing it the way we do it. Normally we bring folks in person. So let's jump into this. So I'm going to talk to you a little bit about why I selected you and what you meant to me growing up. So me growing up, I grew up without a dad. My mom had 5 kids, was trying to raise 5 kids by herself. I was the fourth of the 5 kids. So, by the time it got to me, she was really, really busy and really, worn out, especially when I got to my teenage years. And so you and your son Latrell and I are really good friends, in high school. And I remember you used to take us to basketball games and talk to me about investing. You were talking to me about stock market. I didn't know nothing about that. I was like, man, what are you talking about? You used to talk to me about investing and Roth IRAs and all this stuff that I didn't understand when I was 14. I should have paid better attention, but, and then also just seeing you owning property, talking about, tenants and landlords. And even when I bought my first house when I was 23, which kind of sparked me into wanting to own property and understand that I could actually own property, seeing a brother like you actually own. And then, you supported me through property management issues I had with tenants, even helping to provide resources for me to, do repairs on my house and stuff like that. So I chose to uplift you because you're not really in the field of mentorship or work. It's not really your job. It's just who you are. And you really impacted me and like a father figure. And I know with the loss of your son, that had to be hard. So I really wanted to, and it's hard on the community, hard on me for sure. Shout out to my guy Latrell. But really, I want to thank you for the time and energy that you poured into me, not just me, but other young Black men and women throughout the community. So I just that's why I wanted to honor you, Steve, because you really impacted me, and I wouldn't be the man I am today without your guidance, your mentorship, your leadership in my life.
I was going to say I'm very proud of you. Sometimes people just see something in somebody, and I think everybody got good in them. And me, I actually had a village, and we need to get back to that. It takes a village to raise a child. One of those that was part of my life is actually an honoree. You guys call him Willie Campbell. We call him Big Bill. So he was more like a big brother to me. I had a few of them. Memphis' team. Him, Roosevelt James, Gary Ladd Sr., and back then it was also Brother Noble, Pastor Noble now, who's still in my life, but I was hard-headed, but I still had some people to come talk to, I feel I can still come talk to those. So, proud of you, man. You're doing a good job, man. Hopefully everybody get on board, and right now this community needs it. Needs men right now. So, thank you.
Thank you. And we're going to see more people. I'm sure when we honor folks, we're going to see that there's more connections. Me going through this process, I learned a lot about the honorees and how everybody's connected. Even like I think when I called you and talked to you and told you that we were tapping in with Brother Rico and Brother Steve were tapping in with Willie, and you were like, man, I know that cat. And even Larry Evans, like, people know each other. So it's a small community, but there's a lot of, sometimes they talk about how absent Black men are in our community and our family. And, we want to provide an opportunity to show that we're really not, really not. So I appreciate you, bro. I love you. I appreciate you. And it was an honor for me to be able to honor you.
Thank you.
All right. So next up, we're going to bring back my brother, Isaiah Anderson Jr. He's fully vaxxed. So he's ready to make it happen. So he's going to do the next honor.
All right, we are going to keep going. We want to thank Steve. Now we know who to blame for Andre, but thank you. We're going to go ahead and keep it moving. I am going to be doing and honoring a young man that is very important to me. He's like my son, but he's actually my nephew, and his name is Michael Eric Moore. And I'm honoring Michael Eric Moore because this is a young man who, growing up, didn't always have it easy, but he pushed through regardless of what some of his circumstances were. He made a way. He wasn't one of those cats out, having a bunch of kids here and there and doing those things. But he was just always, making moves. That's what I call it. He was making moves. But about 9 years ago, he met a old friend of his, and they kind of grew up together, hung out together, Yesler Terrace years ago, and they got together, and she had already had 5 kids, and he was like, hey, man, I'm down with that. Let me do you and your 5 kids. Let's make that happen. And it took them about 5 years to have their first one. And now they're going on their 6th one. So altogether, they will have 11 kids between the two of them. And he is that dad. I don't know, you don't hear stories these days about people having 10, 11 kids and still pushing through, because some of us think, man, we'll go crazy with that many kids in life, but not my nephew. This cat stands strong. He stands steadfast and unmovable in his family structure. And he and his lady, they are a very powerful couple. They do what is best for their kids and they keep it moving. And I just wanted to tell that cat publicly, I love you, man. I'm proud of you, bro. And this award is very deserving for you at this time in your life, man. So I just want to say congratulations, nephew.
Thank you, big uncle. I appreciate you, man. I appreciate you.
So just give us a little bit, man, about how it is, that you're a young cat, 34 years old, and pushing through every day, man, with that many.
Man, it ain't easy. It ain't easy, but I was raised by some true men themselves. You, my father, you know what I'm saying? You as my father, you know what I'm saying? The structure was, anybody who know you, the structure, it was real. You feel me? So, you know what I'm saying? And it's showing, so it's all love, man. You know what I'm saying? I love what I do. I love that I'm here, and they're a blessing, even though they drive me crazy, but they're a blessing, man. You know what I'm saying? So I wouldn't change it for the world. I wouldn't change who I grew up with. I wouldn't change the people who raised me. I wouldn't change none of it, man. So, it's all love, man. I love you, big unc, and I gotta give it a lot of it, the most of it to you, man. You know what I'm saying? You did a good job, big dog.
Well, I appreciate you, nephew. Man, all I can say is keep doing what you do, man. And I'll expect to have your 10, at some point, 11 in my program. You know what I'm saying? They're going to come through. We're going to do it big. You got to continue to feed them, though. I'm not doing none of that. You know
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir, man.
But man, you keep doing what you do. Congratulations again, nephew. I'm always there for you. So never hesitate to call.
Thank you, Unc. Big dog. I love you, dog. Love you, man.
Love you, man. All right. All right, y'all. We're doing this and we're moving forward, man. We're gonna keep going. Our next honoree. Yep. We're gonna have Mr. Daryl Glover come up. He killed himself. Yes, sir. The man behind the scenes. Glad to have you, sir. All All right.
Now, in front of the scenes, it's my best side. All right, so let's go ahead and bring Jeff up. Hey, Jeff. So let me tell you. Oh, I think you're muted, Jeff.
Yeah, sorry about that. I'm here.
Hey, it's all right. How you doing?
I'm doing good.
Yeah, beautiful. So I'm going to have to brag a little bit about Jeff because he won't. Um, so Jeff is a neighbor of mine. We live about a block away, and it was one of those situations where the kids know each other well. The parents know of each other, and so I think we may have had like a couple of conversations. But Jeff's so important to me that so let me back up a little bit. The founders of Build presented me with the Father's Day Award in 2017. That award went straight to Jeff. That award went to Jeff's house.
It's all right, man.
I was in a battle with kidney disease. And Jeff, thank you. I was in a battle with kidney disease. Jeff and I, although probably speaking a couple of times, I went and picked the kids up and whatnot. And almost an instant after seeing a Facebook post, he decided to be a donor. Jeff has a family to consider, career. He dedicated himself to being a possible donor. So to me, Jeff gets this award for broadening my my view of community. Community isn't just the borders of the Central District. It's really all over the world. So, Jeff, I'd like to present you with the 2021 Father's Day Build Award. And thank you for being a part of my life.
Thank you, Daryl. This is that. I got to say, this is that award that Daryl gave me at that time. And I really did not understand. I did not understand how much it meant to you and to the community and the groups that you're in. And I want to say, and this is the award for today. And I got both of these right here on my bed in my house. And I just want to say that I kind of like reflect all this back to you because the way I've seen you and learned about how you are with your family and with your friends and what motivates you and how you just keep pushing on through all the hardships and things that seem to hit you, man, I'll tell you what, you're the inspiration for me. And I always tell you when I see your kids and what they're doing, I'm just amazed by what your kids are doing, how well they're doing. And I'm really honored to be a part of your life.
Thank you, Jeff. I'm too. I want to add one more, one more cherry for Jeff. Jeff actually, when it came time, he told the clinic and the doctors that he was going to be anonymous. And so it just so happened that someone in the family spilled the beans, and that's how I found out. But he was actually going to go through this and just be at peace, knowing that he did a good deed. Thank you.
Thank you, Daryl.
Next up.
I need to say some stuff
Oh,
real quick,
man.
if you don't mind, because I need this gentleman to know that nothing you did is wasted. This man shows up minutes after dialysis. Minutes after dialysis, talking about, now what we doing? How we got to do this? No, I'm good. Arm taped up. I'm good. Don't worry about me. Look like you about, yeah, man, can I get you some water? Okay, give me a little water and I'll be all right. But he never stops. So as much as you are proud of him and he's an inspiration to us, because some of us who are moving without dialysis and then talking about, man, I'm tired. He shows up and you can't say that. You just cannot say that. You better not say you're tired around D. So it's an awesome thing. Also, I want to bring up Andre real quick because Daryl is more than what people see. He gave his award away, which means he doesn't have one. And we just can't have that.
Yeah.
We cannot have that in life.
Oh, you brothers.
So,
brothers. Oh, my goodness, man. Wow. This is brothers, man.
yes, sir, man. You don't get away with giving it away. Daryl Glover.
So on behalf of Brothers United Leadership Development, we want to honor Daryl Glover for effecting real change in our community, our 21 Father's Day event. Yeah, I mean, when you told me this story, I was like, man, you got to honor this cat. And like I said, I didn't, you shared the story about you giving the award away in one of our check-ins. It was very moving. To anybody that just heard the story, hopefully they were moved by that. And I was like, man, I kind of made it my idea, like you guys were talking about the roast yesterday. Man, I made it my idea, like, man, you should honor this cat that gave you life, because everything, Brother Jeffrey, we appreciate you, because everything that this guy touches is because of you. So it's all about how we're all connected as community. That's really what it's about. So you have one. Now he has two. You have one of your own for your family, and this is what it's about, bro. So much respect, much love. We appreciate you, man. Build it's a lifestyle.
Thank you, brothers.
Sir. Man. All right, now get on behind the camera, man. We got time for all this.
All right, Jeff. We'll see you later.
All righty. Thank you.
Brother.
All right.
All right, I'm going to bring up somebody who really doesn't need no introduction, Mr. Larry Evans. We're going to bring him up, and he's going to share some words of wisdom. So I appreciate this brother so much. He's been a mentor to me. He's a past honoree, member of Build, and I'm going to pass the mic to you.
Oh, good afternoon. I want to read a quote. A good father is one of the most unsung, unpraised, unnoticed, and yet one of the most valuable assets in society. Never thought I'd be quoting Billy Graham up here, but that's who is attributed to making this quote. You know, I really want to thank Andre Franklin for creating Build, along with Isaiah, Aaron, and some other brothers, back in 2013, was it? Because a organization like this is so desperately needed among our people, especially, regardless of our 402 years here, but especially now. And when you talk about fathers in general, you have to take it up to a whole different level when you talk about African American fathers. You look at our history, we spent 246 years by all accounts, whether it's legally or in operational daily practices, we weren't allowed to be fathers. We weren't allowed to be husbands. Our children could be sold and sexually abused and physically abused, psychologically abused on a daily basis. And I often wonder, what did it do to those brothers that had to undergo that? No other people in recorded history have gone through what we have gone through, where other people, I think we said last night that there's no, I can pretty much promise that there's no group of Japanese American men or Jewish American men or Norwegian American men who are having a discussion on a large scale today about the state of their people. What we've gone through is unprecedented. So when you talk about African American fathers and what we have to do and the changes and the adjustments that we had to go through to hold on to the value of fatherhood, it's not only extremely rare, but something to be extremely proud of. Today, fast forward from 1619 to 2021, we protect our kids. We protect other kids. There's brothers that have been recognized over the years by Build and are recognized today that don't have biological children, but they serve as fathers to many, many brothers and sisters in the community. So I think we need to carry on that tradition of being there for all of our children, especially our most disenfranchised and undervalued children. We need to be there for each other because we, as the quote said, we are underappreciated and underrecognized. And when you talk about African American men, we're the most vilified group of people on the face of this earth, not only here in America, but around the world. But at the same time, we are the most envied people on the face of this earth, along with our sisters. So we need to keep that in mind every day when we do the things we do without even thinking about it. Again, I'm honored to speak a little bit about fatherhood and the value that we need to hold on to in maintaining, the practice of fatherhood. And organizations like Build are some of the few organizations that are really lifting that up and holding that as a high value of our people, of people of African descent. So thank you for letting me have those words. The brother that I want to honor, I moved here, my family moved here in 1966. And speaking about fathers, I had a father. I think they say 70% of African American children grow up in a household where they don't have regular contact with their dads. I had a father. Most of my African American friends didn't. And sometimes when they would come down to my house after school, they would say, "Man, who's that big dark dude sleeping in the corner in that recliner?" And I say, "That's my dad." They say, "Your mom's boyfriend?" No, I'm not trying to be funny, but this is kind of some of the things I heard. "No, that's your stepdad?" "No, brother, that's my father." And that was kind of a foreign concept to a lot of the friends that I grew up with. And the reason he was sleeping in the corner is because he got up at 4 a.m., went to work out at UW Medical Center as a plumber pipe fitter, came home. Him and my mom, they role modeled what a partnership was supposed to be. She was in the kitchen making his dinner, brought it and served it to him. And he woke up, ate dinner, and then went to his second job at night. Sometimes she went with him. Most of the time she went with him. So I'll never be, and my brother and I, we used to talk about this. I'll never be the man my father was, because I've already done some negative things that he never did in his lifetime. But to reiterate the point I made earlier, I was part of that 30%. It was probably a little higher than maybe 40 or 50%, because we know what the government did in more recent times to dismantle the Black family. But I grew up with that. And whether I liked it or not, by osmosis, I developed a work ethic. I developed a value in terms of knowing what a father was. So fast forward to when I was in the 4th grade at Madrona Elementary. You guys know how it is in school. When a new kid comes to school in the middle of the school year, regardless of what grade you're in, everybody notices him or her. Back then, Madrona was like probably 96% African American before the central area was, before gentrification reared its ugly head. And 4 new dudes, I think it was Joseph P. Smith, Bryce Cottom, I can't even remember the other 2, but they all came on the same day as 4th graders to Madrona. So we were checking them all out. And Joe, Big Joe, Professor Joe, is somebody that I quickly developed a relationship with, a close friendship that has spanned the test of time. I haven't seen Joe in maybe 4 or 5 years, maybe longer than that. But the weird thing about it is that, you know, life takes us in those different directions sometimes. And yeah, I have a 41-year-old son, Roberto, and he grew up kind of idolizing Joe, little Joe, Joseph's son. And little Joe was probably 3-4 years older than my son was. And he was a nice young man, polite, strong work ethic, a 3-sport star at, what was it, Ingram? Probably 4 sports if you add tennis to it. And so my son grew up kind of idolizing him. Joe wrote a book, The Teacher in Every Parent, that, that must have been about 15, 20 years ago that he wrote that. So he was kind of my role model in terms of raising a son. Quick story that's relevant to build into the brothers and sisters in this room. Charles Humphrey, who was one of the founders of Philly steak sandwiches. For some strange reason, Charles asked me if I wanted to be the head coach of CAY's 89ers, the youngest group of kids. One of the best things I did in my life. But as the years went on and my son was on that team, as he got a little bit older, another coach came in. Things weren't quite going right. By then, my son loved football, but I didn't know what to do. And so Joe said, hey, man, send him out there to Ballard. That's where my son went. So I took him out to Ballard and let him play out there. Totally different league. He didn't get to play with or against any of his friends, but 2 of the best coaches that I'd ever run into, either as a youth playing football myself or as an adult. And after that year, we came back south, tried CAY and Rainier again. Didn't work out, so I took him out to Ballard again. And as my son got older, we used to go, and he was at Washington Middle School at the time, and we used to go down to Memorial Stadium and watch little Joe play football. And because he was playing for Ingram, and he was one of them multifaceted cats. He played receiver, slot, running back, defensive back, safety, punt return, kickoff return. But it wasn't so much the type of athlete or football player he was. It was the kind of young man that he was. And as Joe and I used to discuss, Joe would say, you know, sometimes I can't be his friend. And Joe has a daughter who is just as accomplished, Joanna. And he has 3 more children who I haven't seen. I think, it's been more than 5 years, because I don't think I've met his youngest child, and that's how long it's been. But I kind of followed Joe's roadmap. And, you know, I had the luxury of having a father myself. I had plenty of uncles. My mom had 6 brothers. And so I was one of those rare young Black men or Black children that was surrounded by positive Black men all my life. But in terms of contemporaries, he was the first to have children. His kids were older than mine, and I had kids pretty early on. I was about 20, 21 when I had, my Roberto's mother gave birth to him. So Joe was kind of my role model, and not only as a father, but as a friend and as a resilient Black man. So today is the first time I've seen this cat in years. Ironically, I wanted him to be here so bad, and it was my ass that showed up late. But there's a there's a reason for that. They shut down I-5, and as Dre said last night, I live way I live way out in Greenwood. Who lives out there? So anyway, with all of that, I feel honored to name my honoree for this year's Build Fathership or Fatherhood Award to Joseph Paul Smith. Say a few words. Can he say a few words?
First of all, I want to say thank you very much for the honor. I feel humbled by the honor. And this brother next to me is my mentor. He thinks that I'm his. It's the other way around. We did meet in the 4th grade. Immediately, my dad came here, did not like it here, and left back to Virginia, taking me and my brother with him. And so I didn't return again until about the 8th grade. We reconnected. Larry is one of the most amazing and accomplished men I have ever met. He is smart. He is humble. He is intuitive. The guy just checks all the boxes. So for him to say to me that I am his guy humbles me. I had 2 fathers. I was fortunate enough to have 2. The first for the first 11 years, and then there was a void. And at that void, before my mother remarried, when I was about 14 years old, we used to go down to Larry's house. He's the first guy that taught me how to roundhouse kick down with the Carosies. Of course, he kicked me in the face, and that was the first lesson. Stay clear, okay? The second thing was we used to see his father, and his father worked like a man, and I knew what a man was about. So the illusion that Black men were missing in action as far as fathers and mentors was foreign to me coming into the Northwest, because that's all I ever saw. I ever saw strong, resilient, tough-minded Black men doing their business and doing their work. And so that was clearly something I was going to model. How I got into tutoring, I got into mentoring, I got into football and baseball, basketball coaching is I saw a void through necessity. I went down to CAYA Stars tutoring program. They needed tutors. That's after I graduated from college. Trying to figure out what I was going to do in this community, because I saw this community was a little bit disjointed. You know, they were all trying to do some things, but they were being stretched in a lot of different directions. So after going in and interviewing and having them vet me and tell me that I wasn't necessarily qualified to be a tutor, I said, really? I'm educated, even if it's miseducated through college and undergrad, K through 12. So I started my own program over at Douglas Truth, and half the people started coming over from CAYA Stars tutoring program to my personal program, because we were teaching them math and every other subject matter that they needed to have to make it happen. So again, going into tutoring and getting into coaching by necessity. I had a son, thought he was being coached improperly. So my dad always taught me, either you're part of the problem, you're part of the solution, or you're part of the landscape. And so I never was going to be a wallflower. So I got involved in coaching. Didn't know what I was doing. Went straight to the library and got books on coaching, because I was a 4-star player in sports, but that don't mean you know how to teach young people. But it was all about personalities and relating. And I learned a lot of that by watching Larry. He was one of the guys that I knew he could go through the Asian American community smoothly and seamlessly. I would be hanging out with him. then he would seamlessly go back to our community, no problem. And so I learned how to navigate a lot of things because I was the new guy. And I'm telling you, when you're new in any town, nobody wants to see you unless you can find yourself some value. And my value was I hung out with Larry. And hanging out with Larry was valuable for me. So in helping him do that, going into coaching, mentoring young people is taking me into raising my own family, then writing books. And then obviously this program that I have currently is with Tennis Academy Excellence. It's called Sky's the Limit. That's through my Sky's the Limit Foundation. And that's what I do. Continue to do what he does. I remember, I'll say one quick thing. I remember holding Roberto at your house, baby, in my arms. My Oakland Raiders were taking apart the Philadelphia Eagles. And I had Berto, 1980, right in my arm. And I said, this dude's going to be a star. He went to Ballard and broke every record my son, Joseph Jr., made. And then he went to the Metro League at Garfield High School and still holds the rushing record of 324 yards. My son had that record. He crushed everything. Later, Roberto worked for me in my moving and storage company called Heard You Moving and Storage. A great young man, a great athlete, just a great citizen, and somebody that to this day I'm happy to have interacted with. So I want to say thank you so much for this honor. I don't feel worthy of it, but my work is just beginning. I still get down every single day to try to find some value in young people because and now with the technology, they've taught me everything: Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, Snapchat. My students are just like so smart, and they take me to a place that I never thought I'd go, and all I give them all my exchanges is wisdom. I give them that. So thank you very much, Larry. Thank you very much, Build, for this award. I feel humbled, and I also say thank you so much from the bottom of my heart.
Hey, what's good, everybody? Y'all, man, that was some moving stuff. You know, Larry and Joe, they mentioned that they met in school, but they didn't tell you that they had a side hustle where, you know, when you have a 5-page paper and you only got 3 pages written, they would fill in the extra words. Them brothers can talk, man. Where y'all at? Save a minute. Save a minute for me, man. Save a minute. Nah, we love you. We love you. I'm really excited about the person that I wanted to honor. You know, when you know somebody a long time, but you don't know them, you know of them. You run into similar circles. You run it. That's how it is with Jamal Farr. And a matter of fact, it was about 2015. I was founding the Youth Poet Laureate program here in Seattle, first year, and we were worried we weren't going to get quality applications to have a young person poetry that we could uplift and share with the rest of the world. And this application came in with these poems by this poet named Leja Farr. And there was a poem in there called for Black Boys that really just blew us all away. And it's one of those moments where you're like, who raised this child, right? Like, I mean, she's a young woman, was then wise beyond years. But you know, I knew Jace. I didn't know Jamal Farr, so I didn't know his government name. And so I'm like, who is this Leja Farr, and where did she get this foundation? And so I had the wonderful opportunity to mentor Leja as she developed her book called Outweigh the Gravity and released that in early 2016. Then a few years later, the tables were turned. My son is an aspiring up and coming hip hop artist, and he was mentored by Jace, learning about how to craft songs, how to leave a legacy, how do you communicate what you want to communicate. And it really was, I saw how much my son grew under Jace's tutelage. Jace and I got to work together at another program that I was running, Creative Justice, and to see the way Jace interacted with the young people, raised them as if they were his own, because they are his own. You know, he really believes that. It's just an amazing man to watch the way he moves through community. So it was clear to me as when we had the Father's Day Award, this is the father I want to honor. He's a father to his own children, his grandchildren. He's been a surrogate father to my children and all of ours. I met him, or I knew his music since the 90s. So since this award, I went back and was as kind of like reliving the legacy of Jamal for the musician, J.C. Cage of numerous groups. You know, I don't want to call him legend because he says we treat legends like they need to be on a shelf or something. But he definitely is somebody whose music you should know. It's always been positive. It's always been creative. It's always been full of just the wisdom, the brilliance, and the joy of being Black. So Jace cannot be here. He's doing something out in community. He's with family and friends, honoring someone that passed. But we did have a chance to meet up earlier this week on the steps of Langston, formerly known as Langston Hughes Performing Arts Center, which is one of the first places I saw Jace ever rock a stage. So I was just real honored to give this award to Jace. I love you, man. I really, really appreciate being in community with you. And so Jace cannot be here on call in, but we have his comments from earlier. And so on that note, yes, I have a little something here. We got a bag of things for you, but here it is. Beautiful. Build Brothers United in Leadership Development Father's Day honoree Jamal Farr, affecting real change in our community. So absolutely, we know you've been doing it. You're going to continue to do it. Absolutely. And we love you and appreciate you for it, man.
Absolutely. I appreciate you just acknowledging me and the work that I've done for so many years. Like I told you before, this means a lot to me. Mm-hmm. It means a lot to me, not just because it's an award. You know, a lot of times we get awards and we're celebrating an award. Mm-hmm. I'm celebrating who it's coming from, the community that I come from, the brothers that are in that community. And I think sometimes we get lost in the fact of how important it is to show each other love as brothers. Mm-hmm. You know, we do so much. We're stressed out. We're fathers. We're uncles. You know, we work. We do all these things. And we never take time to just sit down and smell the roses with each other. And I think it's so important, you know, to have an award like this, to be honored on a Father's Day honoree, to be able to get back with you, see you again, see you doing well, you know what I'm saying? And to, you know, acknowledge the fact that our work is never done.
That's right.
The work continues. We talked about passing the baton, the torch, however you want to look at it, but the responsibility and accountability, I learned that as a young man. I use that through hip hop. I use that through my work in the community. I use that with my own family, and hopefully I'm able to stand up to what is necessary so that we can show this and not just talk about it. So I'm very appreciative of this award. To you for acknowledging me in this award, to all the brothers for giving this award, and to the community for allowing me to be me and to continue to grow. Man, so I appreciate that.
Yeah, we wouldn't have it any other way. And if you don't know the man's kids, you got to meet them. They're special, special individuals. Whole family is special.
Absolutely.
And know the music too. Look up Black Stacks. They got new tracks out all the time.
Absolutely.
It really is that soul healing music that we all need. You know what I mean? I just love it. I told you I was listening to one of them early tracks.
Yes, sir.
And from back then, Ghetto Star, to now, it's really about uplifting Black people and really sharing what we're about and all the things that we can be too. So I really love you for that, and thank you. There's some
feelings mutual.
There's some other goodies in the bag. Right. You know, we usually would have a dinner, do something like that, but we can't because of COVID. We don't want to be a little more careful. So here's a gift card. Take the family and get some food. Or
that's
whatever.
Always good. They love to eat. That's perfect. That's perfect.
And we got a I love Build T-shirt.
Oh, that's dope.
You always out here building. Always have been.
Yeah,
so
I get to represent. That's what I'm talking about.
And there's a few other things in there, but we just really want to honor and appreciate all that you have done for us, and we know you're gonna continue to do it. So
well, you know, like I said, I appreciate it. The feeling's mutual. I'm grateful. I'm honored to be here today to accept this award and be in good health, good spirit, good mind, and you know. We making moves.
All right.
And we ain't gonna stop. So new song from Black Stacks is about this. It's about a winning season, a winning spirit, a winning attitude. It's called In It to Win. Let's get it, y'all.
All right. Well, thank you to Jace. We're gonna have a brief intermission, but as we cut away, we're gonna take a little throwback to our Mother's Day event. We had a wonderful performance by Northwest Tap, and so we're gonna show that as we break for a few moments. Northwest Tap is inclusive of providing quality dance and job opportunities to underserved communities, and also raising a generation of socially conscious artists who produce work that fosters change. Northwest Tap's philosophy is that dance enriches the lives of the students while also helping to develop self-discipline, instill self-confidence, and encourage achievement. So please enjoy this dance number from Northwest Tap.
All right, and we are back. Thank you again, Northwest Tap, for that awesome display of talent. We would like to, at this time, take some time out to recognize and give shout outs to our Bill brothers. And so we'd like to say thank you to Dre Franklin, Kendrick, we got Jerice, AKA Clown, we got Cedric, Proof in the Play, Willard, Guy, Daryl, and myself, Isaiah Anderson Jr. So core members of Build, but there are many, 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 many of us. So we just wanted to do that. Next up.
We're going to get into our second part of the award ceremony. So we're going to give some space to two brothers who need no introduction. Can we get Rico Bembry and Mr. Steve Sneed to come to the stage, and they're going to honor amazing brother and some brothers that are doing amazing work in the community.
Right.
All right.
Two of my champs right
The
here.
legends
Yeah.
themselves. All right, hello.
Hello.
So the gentleman that we are going to acknowledge today has been amazingly special in our lives for probably about 20
That's Sandra.
years, huh?
I think so, but don't ask me to do no math right now.
So the gentleman we're going to acknowledge, his name is the Honorable Mr. Willie Campbell. And so just to tell a little story about how significant he was, when we were in our teenage years, we had a group called the Ogandes that Steve was one of the founding members of, and myself came along a couple of years later and we played, it was a drum and dance ensemble. And we combined with an initiative called Keep On Trucking. And so those of you who have experienced the beauty and the magic and the repertory experiences of Langston Hughes Cultural Arts Theater, Willie Campbell is the brother who opened those doors for us that many years ago.
Well, so now you have to understand this African drum and dance group that Rico and I were in, we were in our teens. We were like 17 years old. And it was 1974. Wasn't the 80s, wasn't the 90s. It was 74, 1974. I remember because when Keep On Trucking and the Ogandes combined, I met my wife. So that's another story, though. I'll leave that one out for now. But the significance of this thing was that Willie, working for Parks and Recreation at the time, and Langston was a part of Parks and Recreation. Willie got us a performance at the Paramount Theater. And
in 1974.
In 1974. And not only did we perform there, but we were there for a week rehearsing. So when you've heard about, some of you may have heard of the teen summer musical, the inspiration for that came from that experience. I got to perform at the Paramount, Rico and I, my wife, and others we know. We were teenagers in 1974, and we were on stage with people like
Ron Carter, George Benson,
on the Paramount stage in our teens. And we would go to rehearse, you know, earlier in the week. And so we had about a week of rehearsal. And then we performed at the end of that week in what was called CTI Jazz. Now, you want to understand, it happened in Seattle and it happened in Portland, right? Willie made that happen. And it gave me inspiration because I said, wow, it's possible to be a teenager and perform at the Paramount Theater.
So as a result of that, that insight and inspiration had Steve move on and myself move on to develop something that's been passed down, that's been existing for about 35 years, right?
Yeah, yeah.
The Teen Summer Musical, inspired by Willie. I went on to develop something called the Late Night Recreation Program that's been in existence for 31 years, inspired by Mr. Willie Campbell. So I want to make sure that it's important that we acknowledge those who come before us and inspire us. And I want all of you all to see where that inspiration came from. So,
and I just want to say a few more things about Willie, because for us, Willie was a leader. He allowed us to do these things, and no one else was doing that for us, right? At that time, we were teenagers. But Willie, in his earlier, he had been a Harlem Globetrotter, right? We do that. And, you know, so Willie, it seemed as though he came like this figure of a man who came to work with us. He came with all that experience and all that life experience and being a Harlem Globetrotter. And he gave his life to us, right? And so he not only led us to the Paramount, got us in the Paramount, but he also was an example of how to be a man working in this institution and to do things for the young people in the community. See, and that was a huge example for both of us.
and we went on to both work at Seattle Department of Parks and Recreation, modeling the behavior that Willie set for us. And I want to make sure that I do this because this is critically important. I want to acknowledge his amazing and beautiful wife, also, Sandra, who has been an amazing inspiration to us as well. I do not want to not forget
the significance of the beautiful woman that's been with him since I think 1964. Did I get that correct?
Yes.
Well, because back then, now we do the performance, and then Willie would invite us all to his house. His nice house too, very nice house. He had all these teenagers. How many people out there invite a bunch of teenagers into their house?
Nice house with a white baby grand piano.
Right. It was nice, and we felt really special. He made us feel really special. I mean, the other day I was saying that was one of the best years of my life.
Absolutely.
So,
without further ado, we want to acknowledge you on behalf of the Build Brothers, and I thank all my brothers for allowing us the opportunity collectively to just acknowledge this brilliant brother who has so much insight, so much historical knowledge, everything from ethnobotany he's done in community centers, to opening up the arts for folks, and just being a mentor and a guide and a father to those who did not have one. From the bottom of our hearts, brother, we appreciate and acknowledge you for 50 years of service to us. So it's on you. Speak your truth.
Thank you, Steve. Enrico. What I enjoy yet today is knowing that I was able to do what you just mentioned for so long, because I grew up right behind the Rotary Boys Club, and my mother had 8 kids, and my father wasn't around. So when I met my uncle and people in the community, as far as Mount Zion Baptist Church, Goodwill Baptist Church, I saw all these people in the central area doing their thing. So I had to do it as well. So that's the reason that I put my heart and soul into you guys that keep on trucking Guru. And I really love it. And I sleep well at night, because once in a while, Steve would come to me in my dream. And then that Rico, he was so busy into other people's business. And I love Rico. And I talked to Steve the other day, and I told him that, is he still married to Vita? And he said, yeah, I'm still married to Vita. And, it's a beautiful world to see, folks, so you inspired me as well. So it's just reversed. And all the people, Daryl, Larry, and Aaron, that we just, saw on the screen and so forth, we got inspired by people like you two to keep going, because I didn't have a father either. I mean, obviously I had a father because there was 8 of us, but I've learned to give love back. And so I'm still so happy with my beautiful wife, and she's helped me, my poor butt, get along the world, so forth. So love people around you guys, everybody. That's what I really want to say to you too. Keep loving your family. Stay with them. You're going to be critical things to come up, because we're in a society that we Homo sapiens. Homo sapiens is some of the cruelest people on the planet Earth. But when we get to the point where we understand that we can help one another, like I was telling you guys when we had the brief film here at the house, there's a dozen Anglo-Saxons that helped me out as well. Mr. and Mrs. Joseph Marshall, Mrs. Mantu, Mrs. Dorothy Lau, all Caucasian people. The Laus, Mrs. Dorothy Lau, her son, helped build a first house. So, we have to understand to get along with everybody to make sure we go on in this world today. And I love you for doing what you've done for so long. And my wife and I love you. And you're always welcome to come to the house. And when you came to the house the other day, you went to the wrong house.
Because you built a new house.
Right, that's right.
Okay, but you finally went up and turned around and came back, and I waved at you. Come on, boy, here, right here. Okay, I love you too. Thanks so much for everybody that's helped everybody out in this program today. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Willie. This next honoree that I'm going to acknowledge is a young man that has done work with me for quite a few years. And when we talk about the building of the late night recreation program, no one thing that I've done in my
Oh
life
my goodness.
did I do alone. How you doing, brother?
All right, Rico.
So no one thing that I've done in my life have I done alone. And there have been a team of brothers and sisters from different walks of life who have supported me on that journey. And one of those powerful brothers is Mr. Brian Hayes. And what I want to just explain to people is that when we started the late night recreation program 31 years ago, one of the critical things that we needed was systematic order in systematic chaos. Because the program built so fast, we had 300 or 400 young people coming to each site each night, and we needed good leaders that didn't have fear. We needed good leaders that had the moxie and the ability to lead other men and women. And Brian was one of those critical figures that gave up every single weekend of his life for approximately 8 to 9 years, almost every single weekend. He went on to become a principal, working currently at Southwest Houston Family Services, serving young people there in a really critical role. Brian has educated himself. He's gone back to get the education he needs to lift his life and others, has a beautiful family, and serves as a mentor, a guide, and a father to several young men and women in our community. So with that, my brother, without further ado, I want to present the world to my good brother, partner, and friend, Mr. Brian K. Hayes.
Hey, thank you, Rico, and thank you for remembering the K. I thought you were going to play a video. I was looking forward to that. I didn't have to say anything, but with that said, I just want to say that I really appreciate you brothers, man, and the work that you're doing, things that you've been doing over the last few years is really great and inspiring. I want to say that I am inspired by Rico, the work that you've been doing for the last 30 years, the work that you had all other people doing, the track that you had us on, from people with working with Steve and with Darcel and with just all those people that you had, James King, James Hampton, and that team of people really motivated me because I saw it in their heart, the work that they were doing. And I've just been so blessed to be a part of that. And I want to thank you for including me in that. I want to say also that I've been very inspired by my program participants, including Andre Franklin, who was a young guy back in those days, that we would transport through Meadowbrook and Rainier and Garfield and High Point and Dale Ridge community centers, you know, making sure that they got home at 2, 3 o'clock in the morning. And I was inspired by the need that we had to get kids home and make sure that they had a safe place to go. I was inspired by the fact that kids needed to eat. I was in a community center sometimes 8 to 10 hours and kids would be there all day. And guess what? We had to feed them. And we did things untraditionally, which we got in trouble for. And I would honestly say that on public record, we got in trouble for feeding kids. And that was something that I knew Rico wanted us to feed them by any means necessary. And we did it. We fed them. We got them to school the next day. We did a lot of things. And I just want to say I'm proud to be a part of that. And I just hope to continue to do that work. I'm currently doing that now. I'm doing the credit retrieval and GED. I'm with high school age students. It's feeling good. I'm close to 60 now. I'm not ready to turn in my hat at any point in this game. And I just want to say that I hope that I can continue, and I hope that you guys will continue to be there, and I can lean on you for support in the future as I continue to try to feed my kids and make sure that they have the things that they need. And again, thank you for the work that you do, and keep doing what you guys do. Thanks.
Great. And I also would like to acknowledge your beautiful partner and mate for your support and guidance along this path. Thank you so much for lending his time and support to community. So Brian, thank you, brother. You are so worthy of this. And God bless you, man, and be well.
All right. Thank you, sir. Thanks, everybody. Isaiah, all you guys.
So next up, I'm going to bring up my good brother, Andre Franklin. Peace.
Thank you, Rico. That was amazing. The way we uplifted Willie and and B Hayes. We call him B Hayes back in the day when I was ripping, running, and late night. And then, you know, I ended up working for B Hayes, and then B Hayes retired. Then I ended up getting the position running late night in West Seattle. So it's amazing how the thread is all connected, how Willie, you know, inspired many of these brothers that are on the call, you know, and uplifted, planted the seeds, and then to see those seeds go. It kind of reminds me of a quote from Tupac. I may not be the one to change the world, but I'm going to spark the mind that does. So mad respect to Willie, mad respect to Brian Hayes for the amazing work, Rico and Steve for the work that they've done in the community and continue going. Now Isaiah, you know, like we're in a space right now that sparked off of all this work. We're at a space called Acts on Stage, a Black-owned performing arts center here in White Center. Check them out, Acts on Stage. They're on the Facebook, Instagram, the website. Check them out. It's pretty dope. They're doing amazing things. So I'm going to bring on one of my brothers to build, Willie J. He's so nice they had to name him twice. I'm going to bring him on, and he's going to introduce. What's up, Willie? You on mute. You on mute. You got to unmute yourself.
Apologies. My apologies. How's everybody doing? I apologize for not being able to be physically, present, because I'm physically present here with my children and family being in space. But definitely I'm appreciative of being a part of a unique experience where my brothers would build, doing wonderful work. It continues to ignite me. It's an excitement in my life. And before we even move on and doing a little introduction around this video, I'm highlighting the honorees that have been nominated on my behalf and Bill's behalf. I just also want to say, send my solace and condolences to some of our young brothers we have been losing in the last couple of weeks. I've been hit hard. This work that I do puts me in close proximity to a lot of these young folks. And when I speak to other brothers who are also in close proximity doing this particular kind of work in reducing gun violence in our community, we realize that it's just not work. We realize that these are actual relationships that we have. And when we lose them, we really feel that. And so I just want to just lift that up in this space because this is the work that we're doing to prevent some of those things from occurring in our community and from having young folks being restructured in their family by being taken away on a permanent level and where their mothers and their families are missing them. And we want to be able to continue to keep interjecting as such kind of energy into space and into our communities. So instead of, creating homicides, we can create environments where there's hugs, that prevents these kind of things. And I mean hugs in terms of a real support, a real wraparound. So with that, I just wanted to express that because that's been on my heart. And I know that we all have been impacted. And with that, I want to introduce this video of a nominee of a good brother by the name of Eddie Purpose. I've been knowing this brother, had the fortune of knowing him for quite some time, several years. We worked together, side by side in the Urban League, and and we come from similar stretches. And he's doing amazing things in the community with his organization, Progress Pushers, and also being an amazing father to his son, an amazing mentor to a lot of young folks in our community who needs a specific type of support and culturally responsive support that he's only capable of offering. So I want to highlight that brother Eddie Purpose. And here we have is a video, and I also have a highlight of a brother named Derek Wheeler Smith, and we'll introduce that as well. These are two amazing brothers who are doing amazing things, who are touching multiple lives, multiple entities, multiple systems, and our communities at large. Thank you. It is an honor to be standing here with this brother, Eddie Purpose, honor you with this award, this Build Father Day Gift Award, Build's Brothers United in Leadership Development, seeing the work that you do in community, hosting that space graciously, seeing the work that you do with your children, and I say your children because I know you have biologically you only have one son, but you have a lot of young people that you're raising up, and we see, that they defer to you in many ways, for looking for guidance and support, and we appreciate that. And there's times I look to you for guidance and support as well. I love you, brother. I respect you, the hard work and the due diligence that you put in our community. You're a pillar. You've been putting the work in. Emerging leader. And getting ready to take this work that we do far off into the distance. And we appreciate you, man. And is there anything that you want to say to the folks and as a recipient to this award?
Yeah, most definitely. First of all, I definitely want to acknowledge you for honoring me It's a huge acknowledgement and honor to even be provided an award like this, especially since I didn't have no father. So to now be actually given an opportunity to be recognized for being a father who didn't have one is definitely special to me, man. And the fact that, you know, the work that we do in community and helping to give and provide certain tools to the young folks, man, that we work with when it comes to manhood, when it comes to integrity, when it comes to all these different tools that they didn't necessarily receive and are not receiving in their household or school or in the streets, is a very much of an honor to be able to be in position to be able to give them those tools. So I definitely want to thank you once again. Thank Build. This is a hell of a honor, man, for me, and I'm definitely humbled to be able to receive it.
Thank you. And you said that this gift is special to you, this recognition. I just wanted to let you know that you're a gift that's special to us, brother. You know, and highlighting that, you know, we got a swag bag right here.
So got for me, man.
You know, we got a official letter documentation written on behalf from Bill to our brother, dear Eddie Purpose, you know, saying somebody that we love, we respect you. This is our 5th annual Bill Father's Day event. You have your own personal letter. Also, as well as a little more of Build swag right here. You have some bracelets and, you know, pins and things that you can.
I like the bracelets.
Yeah,
man.
absolutely, absolutely. Let's get you. Let's show them the rest of this wonderful swag. We also have, you know, $50 Visa gift card. You can use it how you want to use it. We encourage you to use it on yourself, brother. We know that you always giving everything to everyone else,
Absolutely,
man. So
man. Appreciate
we actually
you,
be
man.
a little selfish in this regard, right?
Appreciate that.
You have this Build T-shirt. Swag, I love Bill, Brothers United in Leadership Development, right here. You know,
is it my size? Because you know
this is
the
definitely
caused it.
Yeah, this is definitely your size, brother. I know the pandemic stuff right here. The award goes to my brother right here, Eddie P. You know,
yeah,
definitely
man.
it's your
Shout out
size,
to
man.
Bill.
2X. You know, hopefully it doesn't shrink after the first wash, though, brother.
It's all right. This is beautiful, man.
It's Pro Club. We ain't responsible after the first wash.
This is beautiful, man. Hold the shirt up?
Yeah. Okay. The award. And here we have this prestigious award.
Oh,
you know,
man.
being honored to you, Eddie Purpose. You know, affecting real change in our community. This is from your brothers from Bill. This is for you, my brother.
I didn't know I was getting a whole award, man.
Yes, you are.
Oh, man, this is beautiful,
Step out the
bro.
way, man. You want to speak to it? Go ahead.
Man, this is Build United in Leadership Development, Father's Day honoree, Eddie Purpose, affecting real change in our community, 2021. Build, it's a lifestyle. Man, I'm at a loss of words. I didn't know I was going to get the award like this. This is really nice, man. I once again want to appreciate Bill for even acknowledging me, and for Willie for, you know, bringing me into the space, man, to honor me as a father, man. It does mean a lot to me with the work that I do in community. You know, my son, Tupac, shout out to Tupac Jamal E. Purpose. You know, my son being the first one born with the last name Purpose is near and dear to me, man. I changed my last name in 2019 to change the legacy, man, to shake the slave-given name. And so for my son to be the first one born with the last name Purpose means a lot to me, man. And so this piece is just another representation of confirming that I'm doing something good, man. And so I appreciate that, man. Appreciate you guys for this, man. It's love, man, for real, bro.
You already know.
Absolutely, man.
Absolutely.
This is beautiful, man.
My brother for real, man.
Absolutely.
As you can see, man, it's real. The love, the support, what we provide, what we get. I literally can, you know, dry these tears out of my eyes because, you know, oftentimes Black men are not seen, at least through social media and other different mediated, you know, platforms, we're not shown pouring love on each other, and this is a wonderful thing. This is why I'm a part of Build, because we love each other no matter where we are in our lives, no matter where we are in our professional lives, personal lives. Andre, he reaches out to me on a consistent basis just to check in. It has nothing to do with the work. It normally has something to do with me, my well-being, and I appreciate that, brother, because that's something that we're not often always offered, and I really do appreciate that. And I appreciate all my brothers that Build, Isaiah, Clown, Kendrick, every one of you guys, proof in the play. I'm just overwhelmed and overjoyed with excitement. But with no further ado, we want to introduce our brother. Our second nominee is Derek Wheeler Smith, who's done some wonderful work throughout the ages. I don't want to call him old, but he's been just doing the work for quite some time. Like LeBron James, he's a young man that started young, and so therefore he has a lot of history. And I'm glad that he started young, because that means he's still young, and we have a lot more work to do. I have the honor of working with him currently at ZYD, Zero Youth Detention, King County Public Health, doing some amazing work around the gun reduction work. But also want to lay out there that for so long, myself and others, we've been trapped, claiming the wrong hood. We really have. I've been claiming the wrong hood for the first part of my life for the wrong things. And brothers like Andre and being with Build has taught me that I need to be claiming the right hood. And that's what we're giving to these brothers as well, like brotherhood, fatherhood. These are the right hoods, and we're enjoying that. So with no further ado, I want to give you one of the members of who is claiming the right hood, Derek Wheeler Smith, a wonderful father, a wonderful community member. And with no further ado, here we have Derek Wheeler Smith. We're here with the phenomenal Derek Wheeler Smith to present him with the Build Father Day Award. Even though it's not just necessarily announcing and emphasizing and awarding this wonderful brother as being a father, but just being also a genuine, steward in our community, being there for a lot of folks as though they have been there for him as well. I'm sure he's learned it in that capacity, but I know he's been there for myself. I know by you being there for me, you've been there for my family. You've been there for other people's family. You've helped us to be able to keep the lights on, to be able to go to bed with a plan in our mind and actions in our spirits to wake up tomorrow to get the work done. And I just want to honor you just as much as the other brothers would Build, brothers in leadership, brothers united in leadership development. I apologize, but these kind of things are a little sentimental for me, and we appreciate you, and I love you, brother. For just standing in the space, holding gap in ways that you didn't have to. Just putting your life and your sweat and your tears and your blood on the line on a daily basis. I see it. We all see it. Some of us don't know, but we all feel it. And we see the work that you're doing even on a countywide level. Man, it's appreciative. And we just want to honor you, brother, and give you some words to say to the folks. And we'll let them see exactly what it is in his give back as well.
Awesome. Thank you. Man, appreciate the love. It's so important, I think, for us. Particularly in a world, man, where as a black man, you either experience a level of like hypervisibility, or invisibility. And so for us to be able to honor and love on one another, I'm humbled just to be able to receive this recognition and love. I just try to wake up every day with a commitment to be accountable and responsible to God, to my wife, my family, and then, of course, the community at large. And so, man, appreciate it. Thank you.
We appreciate you. So, Brother Derek Wheeler Smith, we have in this goodie bag, this is your Build letter, personalized to you. Just congratulating you and letting you know that we appreciate you. You also have a little bit of swag up in here. I don't want to open up your gifts to everybody, but there's a little bit of Build swag, some wristbands, nice, some buttons and things of that nature. You also have a Visa card. You can go, do some things with that. You have a Build shirt, Brothers United in Leadership Development. Says, I love Build, because we love to build. Bringing all of brothers and sisters and community and family together. But what we're here for, last but not least, is this personalized award recognizing you, Derek Wheeler Smith, for the wonderful work that you do in community. As you can see, it's here. Father Day honoree Derek Wheeler Smith, affecting real change in our community. Right here.
All right, all right. We thank you, my man Willard, for your nominees and those great presentations. We are back. We're going to go ahead and bring out our next Bill brother, who's going to do some honorees. He's going to do two, and he's none other than Mr. Nice Guy himself, Guy David.
Man, Seattle, I have the pleasure to nominate my guy, the OG, that I met years ago, man, that blessed my soul. It's an honor to present you, on behalf of Brothers of Build, an award to let you know that we appreciate all the great things you do in the hood, the community, for Seattle, the Northwest, countless things, man. I should bow down. I need to bow down to this guy right here. This guy right here.
You set me up.
No, man.
You told me to come skate tonight.
That's it. We just said come skate. We want to support you. We want to let you know we love you. We care about you. All the great things you do for us. The community of Seattle, the Northwest. We want to give you your flowers now, even though he's going to outlive all of us. This guy, amazing. Look how great shape he is. Look how great shape he is. Seattle to Portland run for how many years?
30 this year. Yeah, number 30.
30.
Yeah.
30, and I got 30 chicken wings and biscuits stuck around my shit. But man, Lewis, we want to...
No, man, I appreciate this. This is nice. An honor, you know.
We have a certificate for you on behalf of Bill. I'm not going to read it because I only made it to like 4th grade, but we just want to let you know, man,
I recognize BUID, and it's what? Brothers United in Leadership and Development.
Yes, indeed.
You know, I need more brothers like you, and I've watched you in the community as well.
I learned from
you've been my inspiration. This is my youngest uncle, Uncle Guy. He's been my uncle since he was a teenager.
Yes, indeed. Man.
No, this is for real an honor, man, and I appreciate it.
Man, we appreciate you.
On behalf of Bill, and I accept this today, and man, nice surprise. I would have worn my Sunday to go meeting clothes.
And we got some.
Oh, you got more?
We got a whole gift bag for you, big
Come
dog.
on, man.
A T-shirt. And it's your size too, I think. I can't fit it.
Yeah. Man, I got to make sure I don't drop this.
I'll hold
put that in, I'll hold this up. Don't put it in the pocket. Yeah, let me do this, man. Oh, man. Bill206.com.
There's a lot of other goodies in here. We're going to keep that on the low, but we got a gift card in there. Make sure you spend it with a black business if you can.
Can I spend it at Ezel's?
Yes. Yes, indeed, man. We appreciate you, sir.
Man, I appreciate you. Man, it's an honor. Again, appreciate you.
Thank you, man. Keep up the good work.
Yes,
appreciate you.
Yes.
On the Brothers of Build, behalf of Brothers of Build, it's an honor to be standing next to this guy. You guys just don't know.
Man, let me
Google him. Google this guy. Google this guy.
Get my selfie with you. There we go.
You got skills. You can do.
I've been watching you youngsters.
Man, the Brothers of Bill would like to present Mr. Coach Graham, Marcus Graham, for all the great things you do to the kids in the hood, for the kids in the hood. All your work, we want to let you know that we recognize everything you do. All the great things you do. We want to support you. We want to give you your flowers while you're here, big dog. We appreciate you, man. So on behalf of Brothers of Bill, we'd like to give you that plaque.
That's love.
And a bag full of goodies. A bag full of goodies that I'm going to keep. I'm going to keep some of these goodies because they got some good stuff up in here. Yep. And a T-shirt on behalf of Brothers of Bill.
Bill 206. Appreciate you guys.
Man,
it's all about the kids.
And some good gifts in there too. And we have a certificate. One more time.
One more time, you let the picture. Oh, here we go.
Opposite camera.
I know.
The same camera.
But man, it's a gift card in there. We want you to spend it with a black business, hopefully.
I'm going to Lizzie Lou's.
Oh, you go to Lizzie Lou's. That's what we're talking about.
Lizzie Lou's. I'm coming.
Man. So,
I appreciate you guys.
Words?
I just want to say thank you guys. I appreciate it. You know, growing up without a father, so I just try to give back. I got a little one as well. He's 5 years old, so without having a dad, I try to not follow those footsteps and just give back as well. So appreciate you, Bill 206.
Appreciate you, baby.
Yes, sir. All right. Yes, sir.
All right. Well, that concludes our honorees for today's 5th annual Build Father's Day event. I'm Isaiah Anderson Jr.
Andre Franklin.
We thank you guys for joining us. Again, you could have been doing anything, but on this day, you decided to join us to present some wonderful, wonderful men in our community, as well as supporting Build and all the things that we do. Again, we thank all of our sponsors, all of our brothers of Build who are here and couldn't be here. Thank my wife and my man D again. There you go, doctor. Yeah. So close it out, man.
That's it.
We appreciate y'all, man. Till next year. Peace and God bless.